After removal of subsidy, we have the big politicians and criminals now smuggling 200 trillion loads at a time. Arodiobu, welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. Please subscribe to our channel. Dr. Ijeoma Arodiobu, the National Vice Chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC Southeast Zone, shared his perspective on various issues, including the performance of the APC-led government, subsidy removal, and the planned merger of opposition parties. In an interview with the Punch, Dr. Arodiobu voiced his support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's decision to remove the fuel subsidy, citing that Nigeria has been subsidizing fuel consumption for neighboring African countries. According to him, the government became aware of the situation when petroleum products were being smuggled to other countries while Nigeria footed the subsidy bill. Dr. Arodiobu stated that the removal of subsidy provided a clearer picture of the situation. Despite concerns about the price of petrol, he argued that it remained cheaper in Nigeria comparing to neighboring countries. He highlighted a shift in the smuggling dynamics, claiming that significant players were now smuggling 200 trillion loads at a time after the subsidy removal. He explained that these major players, after loading large quantities of petrol products, would allegedly bribe officials with millions of naira to allow them to pass through. He suggested that the practice contributed to an increase in the pump prices of petroleum products in the recipient countries as the smugglers sought to recoup the cost incurred from bribes. He said, and I quote, "Petrol is still cheaper in Nigeria than in these countries because before it was a thing that people were smuggling 1 or 2 trillion loads of petroleum products through the border. But after the removal of the subsidy, we have the big players now smuggling 200 trillion loads at a time. After loading 200 trillion loads and giving bribes worth millions of naira, they're allowed to pass through. But in a bid to realize what they have spent on bribes, they added to the cost of the product in these countries, thereby increasing their pump price." As I was reading the news and I said, yeah. And the thing is, these things exist before our very eyes. And we do not take notice. Now, can you remember when I told us that our government lacks management? They bring out good ideas sometimes. They bring out good ideas, but they do not put people who are going to manage those ideas. They just, set up a committee and leave them. No penalty for somebody who did not do his job. No monitoring or watching closely to see if these people are really doing what they do. Now, for instance, the government spoke about, what's it called? The government came out to say that they paid money for 50%, right? Of for those who traveled in the daily tide season. Do you know that for the government to come out and say that? See, one thing I notice, you will hear that they embezzled the money. It is not enough to come out and say, I want to pay Nigerians 35,000. I want to pay Nigerians 50,000 naira as their basic salary. I want to pay them 80,000. It is not enough. They have to put people in places that they will be giving them day-to-day reports on those places. You don't just come and you form a committee and you disappear and you have given them the money. That is not how to do it. You make sure those people, they're actually following what you said. It's not enough to sit down. Yes, this is work to brainstorm, to get solution, and you start implementing it. But the thing is, when you just say, oh yeah, go ahead and implement it, it's just like workers. You will need to follow up with them. You will need to scream your lung out. You understand? If you run a small business, you will need to talk, attend to this person now. You have not yet attended to this person online. Attend to her now. Oh, have you delivered? Why are you? What is it? What is it? Is it not just to make sure the person name is, you give the name to the person who is going to be, what's it called, package the item and deliver it, or just to package the item? What is the big deal? The same way, that is the same way the government needs to have people chasing these people around. And this is not me coming out to say the government is doing their job. I am saying sometimes the government, they come up with beautiful ideas, but lack of implementation or too much trust in your person. That is why this thing, you must not trust anybody. Too much trust in your person. My person is dead, my person will do it. When you go back, the person, when he shake on, the person will carry the money and put inside the pocket and tell you that they have done it. If you do not follow through, that is why I was saying that we need somebody who is younger, somebody who will come and say, do this, do this, do this. And when everybody has gone out, he sneaks out, goes to monitor those places by himself. He just appear, monitor, touch those places, gather information where you're supposed to gather, and you don't come back to office. It's really like saying no waiting they go on. He's going to be able to look at people that are really dancing at work and people that are really working at work. Am I making sense? So yes, back to the first subsidy. We waive it for Nigeria here. They pay for people where they use our money, they pay for people where they are. Is that not wickedness of the highest order? People where they do these things, if I don't understand, I don't understand. Now this kind of thing they're supposed to use, they penalize people. If you then catch your company do them, then tell you say for 1 month you no go say. Nothing will happen. If you like, call even Tinubu'S best man, nothing will happen. You no go free you. I'm telling you, the regulation as in call even Tinubu himself. That people that are going to make sure that penalty happens, they're not going to. They're going to be merciless. I am telling you the truth. That is how it is supposed to be. Now they have removed what's it called, petrol subsidy, and the small. Okay, now the pump price don't increase. Then talking about bribing, those officials, they are supposed to put it that once you bribe, what you call a bribe, sack. Whether you have spent, whether that day will make it your 35 years in service, you will lose everything. Sincerely, bribe is supposed to be like that. I'm telling you the truth. If not, people are not going to, as in they are not going to, and this will only happen if the government, when it comes to paying of pension and gratuity, they stick to it. When the government sticks to it, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, people will say don't read the 30 years, then they hear from their colleagues say, government, they pay their gratuity, you understand? And there will not be a law. You understand? If you collect bribe, you are found to collect bribe. Even if you have stayed there for 40 years, no gratuity, no pension. By that time, everybody, they cut you out. And they will use people to do a scapegoat. And you tell you, say, if you like, take the matter to court. No consign me. You understand? The bribe you collect don't cover. Now, I go tell you, I will not go tell you, say, make you give back the bribe, or collect the bribe. Carry the bribe, they go. Do you understand me? So it's a government problem. They need to look in. It is also the officials. Who are the officials? Now, still people like us, so 90. So we have our own part of the, as in people who are officials now have their own part of the blame. The government to have. So then the government need to do what? Tighten their belts in those places. All right, on this note, we've come to the end of the news. So thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest.